Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Dynamite Show. I am not Paul Fontaine. Happy Wednesday night to you all as we're back here to recap the highs and lows from AEW Dynamite going down live in Sacramento, California. Filling in for Paul Fontaine, I'm Keila Cash from The Wrap, and by my side, as always, is the one and only Jeff Hawkins. I am officially, as of right now, for at least the next hour, on babysitting guest host duty.
I've run through the power bombshells. I've run through Kevin Ely. Now it's your turn.
It is an honor and a privilege to be here tonight, and hopefully I can survive the hour. That is my hope and expectation, to get through it just for you and Paul.
You'll be fine. You already launched us correctly, which is more than Paul can usually do, because usually he'll do his countdown, go like 5, 4, 3, 2, wait, what's going on? Something like that. I just start laughing and cracking up. So you've already been an upgrade here.
Well, I try my best to fill some very big shoes, to add some decorum and professionalism to the proceedings.
Yeah, because I ain't added none of that.
All right, so I'll try my best to bring in some sass and class to everything here for tonight, as always. Shout out to the chat. Fernando, as always, in the chat, in the conversation. Hello, Fernando. Good evening to you as well. Hello to Dave as well, joining in on the chat, talking about the show and the main event as well for the show. And Curryhead, we will get to the promo between MJF and Hangman Adam Page, which now has high stakes heading into their championship match at Revolution in about 3 weeks' time.
Mm-hmm. Did you get a chance to watch Grand Slam Australia?
I did. What were your thoughts on that show?
I overall liked it, but again, in my old age, as I get, like, I grew up in the age when ECW, was just, blowing minds and stuff like that in the mid 90s. And I can't watch ladder matches. I really can't. And it's almost disturbing to me, where I have to kind of like watch through my fingers or something, because I'm just afraid somebody's going to permanently damage themselves in these matches. It's not that it was a bad match. It's just I'm watching and I'm going, this is too much damage for this kind of a match. And it was oddly placed. I mean, I get that Kyle Fletcher's the hometown guy. I don't know if I would have put it there. I think I might have actually opened with it, to be honest with you.
Yeah, it was a gnarly match. I think that I'm numb to ladder matches these days too, because I've seen so many of them and how crazy they can get. And they went crazy in this match, but thankfully Game 7 is over. Kyle Fletcher won the series 4-3. May they never wrestle again for the next 10 years.
Yeah, and Hangman Andrade, I thought over-delivered. I love Andrade. I do. I just it's one of those things where it's like, yeah, even when he's not totally dialed in, he's great, but here he was dialed in, and he brings a certain personality that it's so hard in United States wrestling for guys who come from other countries to get over because of the television aspects and the requirements for promos. And I just love his entire vibe. I do. I think tonight he was dressed almost like our friend Chris Harrington, which made me laugh too. But the newsboy cap. But yeah, no, I mean, the entire show, I don't think there was anything, that you could really knock it for. I mean, you could try with that tag match, but I thought the tag match was good too. So, I mean, it was an enjoyable Saturday night. It reminded me a lot of the early clashes that I had as a kid. And no, it was a fun way to spend a Saturday evening. I liked it.
I enjoyed it too. I try to tap into Collision when I can. And I said, listen, this is a big time card. They put some effort into it. Let me tune in real time. And I enjoyed myself for the most part. I thought that Moxley and Tateshka had a really good match for the, I believe, the Continental Championship that went to a draw after 20 minutes, which leaves the door open for a rematch down the road. Looking forward to that. Willa Yuta doesn't have hair anymore. That made me very happy. I mean, the fact that Mox told that man, get your behind back in the ring, Take this shaving like a man. I loved it.
But we didn't get the reveal tonight. That made me angry a little bit.
Yes.
Even just to do a minor angle where somebody's trying to pull that hood down would have sufficed for me. You just can't gloss over that and continue going. I understand that Danielson brought it up on commentary, but it's a sight gag. Don't tell me, show me something. Show me how he's trying to hide it. Show me that he's struggling a little bit to get heat and stuff like that. That's my only drawback from that. But yeah, right person lost to that. And now, and because they're still kind of doing the mixed up heels and a babyface faction type thing, he has to be an honorable person to get his hair cut. Yeah.
There's some integrity there for the Death Riders.
We got the announcement of the rematch, by the way, with no time limit at Revolution. And people are trying to talk me into going, and I'm thinking about going, especially after tonight. I really am.
That is going to be a really fun show. I got a good feeling that's like show of the year worthy, especially with some steps added to that pay-per-view, as we'll get to in a bit. And I'm very touched by Curry Head. I try my best to be a suitable replacement for Paul Fontaine. I really do, to be on Jeff Hawkins' level, because that's not easy to do. Even though I am on babysitting duty, he is someone that is comparable, a professional mostly, and I have to reach that level on a Wednesday night. I really do.
Yeah, tell the Figure 4 board that. They love me over there. I'm suitably equal for myself. Thanks, Curryhead. Appreciate that.
Yeah. And then Curryhead, yes, I take that back. Let's make sure that Kyle and Briscoe don't fight for the next 20 years. Let's add that step tonight.
Yeah. Let's separate them now. I think Briscoe ends up going against Ciampa, and it becomes like a battle of the former TNT champs. But we'll see. That would be an interesting feud.
It would. Another best of 7 series that I'm looking forward to. If you can hear it in my voice, give me 7 more matches.
Best of 53. We're just gonna like various prime numbers so that we can add an odd number there. Yeah, I don't know. I if you're gonna do series though, you need to. I mean, the problem is they called it a best of 7. And they didn't treat it like a best of 7. And then you really need to do that for those types of things if you're going to plan those types of things.
Yes. Hello, Greg. Welcome in. Good show. Digging the top 3 feuds, rolling along. Yes, pretty good. Hype for the pay-per-view. Curryhead is declaring that he is a Jeff Hawkins guy. Put that on a t-shirt as soon as possible.
I don't even think my mom would buy that shirt, but okay.
Listen, it's a charitable cause. Drop
Get paid. Get paid. That's all I care about.
Drop 25 on the shirt. That's all that matters. Okay. And then Fernando's like, lifetime ban for Kyle and Mark. Yeah, we've kind of reached that level. We don't need to see that feud for a very long time. And Curryhead says, give him a best of 7. Ciampa and Fletcher. That would actually be fun. That I would reassess best of 7 for those two to go out there and put on a show like they did last Wednesday. One of the best television matches of the year. Kyle Fletcher already in the running for early Wrestler of the Year candidate. Everything he does simply is fantastic.
You know what? Here's my idea for this. If you wanted to do that and you wanted to actually get some draw for Collision in there, it's a best of 7 stipulation match, and each person picks the stipulation going back and forth, back and forth.
I kind of like it. It freshens it up.
Yeah.
It makes Collision feel important. These matches can take place there. Add a little juice on that show as well. They're getting a good ratings bounce recently. I saw the numbers for Collision. Very impressive number. Guess what? When you promote a show as being important, they will come.
Wait, you mean simple effort in advertising and marketing for a promoter? You mean a promoter promoting stuff actually works? What?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah.
During the Winter Olympics, right after the NBA Saturday Night Special on NBC, really good stuff. So you're telling me that, yes, I build a card, I promote it, it's international, and it's good? Give me more of that.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm looking at a super chat, and And this is a
Oh
phenomenal.
no, that's from last week.
Okay, I was double checking to be sure.
Yeah, no, he'll come by in about 10 or 15 minutes and he'll give us another super chat and throw us all off.
Yeah. I thought that was a current question.
I saw that too, and I was like, why didn't Paul clear that? But he did.
All right, the $4.99 rolls over to this week's show. Definitely. Yes. All righty. So enough yakety yak. Let's get to Dynamite going down to Sacramento, California. Lovely venue, by the way, I must say. Nice setting.
I've never been up there to that one. Where was it in Sacramento? Do you know?
Oh gosh, I think it was.
It wasn't the Cow Palace. That's way too big.
No, yeah, sir.
I don't know NorCal that well. I'm sorry. I know San Jose because I've been up there a couple times. That's about it.
I think it might have been the auditorium in Sacramento State, Curry Head States.
Okay, there you go. Yeah. And I actually liked the framing that they're doing now. They've kind of taken the early Collision Saturday Night's main event promo thing and added it to Dynamite. I like this.
I like it too. I like the backstage promos and you hooking the fans in for the main matches on the show and you're drawing people in from the first segment go. I like that too. And Megan Bain said the least, and that's perfectly fine to sell that match.
That's what killed me. She did that short promo and then winked. I went, all right, that was a choice. Not all choices are good, but it was a choice. I liked it. I like the table setting. I do. I think that's important, especially in weekly, like back in the syndicated days, it used to be, whoever was the announcer would set the table for you. It's like, welcome to another week of blah, blah, blah. This week, you're going to see this, 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 and this. I like having the guys do it themselves too. And the simplicity of Swerve's, I need this. I'm here for that.
Me too. I like the desperation of how much he needs it. Kept it short and sweet, needing this victory, needing this match, needing this need to be validated as the guy, one of the top guys in AEW. I like that intent and purpose. And Kenny kept it short and sweet too. Like, let's get down to business. Let's get this match rolling. And that was our main event, as we'll get to in just a moment. But our opening contest for tonight was, of course, Jon Moxley, our Continental Champion, going up against Mark Davis from the Don Callis family. This match was pretty good. The story was poor Mark Davis's hand as he punched the ring post, and I think he legit broke his hand because blood was gushing from the knuckles and the hand was getting swollen midway through this match. But he was powering through. Mox, a madman, smells blood literally, bites the fingers, tries to break the fingers, tries to use offense and submissions on said hand. And Mark Davis fought through it bravely. I give him credit because I know that had to hurt because we saw it, we felt it, and good Lord, that looked painful when he hit that ring post.
Yeah, I have mixed feelings about this. I liked the match, and it was hard hitting, and it was good. But I'm also a TV guy, and I'm watching this going, why is this on right now? And I get that it's possibly, although they set it up later to Don Callis family versus Death Riders, and I liked that. But it was a long match with Mark Davis, and if you're gonna do this, you need to flourish it a little bit. You need to make us believe. Don Callis has to be out there managing Mark Davis to make us think that there's a possibility that Mark Davis might win this. You need at least like a 2 3/4 pinfall where Moxley barely escapes first to at least bite a little. Otherwise, we're just watching guys do stuff. And I kind of put the Mortis match later the same way. In fact, I'd probably team Mark Davis and Mortis if I could, while the artist formerly known as Jake Something is out. I don't know. I thought this went a bit long. I did. I thought it was good. It was hard hitting and it was rough and tumble. But if you're not going to make me believe that Mark Davis has a chance in it, then it's kind of overstaying its welcome a little bit.
I totally get where you're coming from. When you see a match like that, it should be like a walkover for the most part by Mox. let's get it done in under 10 minutes. Shouldn't be really much of a struggle, but it's AEW, and Mox likes to give people a chance to shine. And this was Mark Davis's night to shine, and he got to shine with a really bad hand. And
now I'll add something else, because it wasn't all on just Mark Davis. I think Moxley needed to be selling more fatigue and wear and tear from the Takeshita match. I think that would have helped the story in this match a little bit, because Mark Davis is like next to last in the Callis family. I think Rocky's the only guy below him. Honestly, I think maybe, I hate doing the taped ribs gimmick, but maybe the taped ribs gimmick would have worked. Just give me something where he's like fatigued or tired or suffering from an injury, kayfabe in the match from Australia, and he's jet lagged. And maybe this isn't his best day, and maybe Mark Davis can take advantage of it. I just needed that much more effort, and I would have loved this match. Because, yes, if you've ever broken your hand, it's not pleasant. Probably not pleasant to wrestle with either.
no,
I just needed that minimum of second level thinking in the match, and I would have been all in on it. But that was just my minor quibble with it.
And it's totally fair, when you're out there and you're trying to tell a story. The story would be jet lag. I flew 20 hours back to the States. I'm kind of exhausted from my draw that really took a lot out of me. Let me sell a little something to give Mark Davis the opening to be the one leading the match, being dominant until I get back on top of things. Totally get that storytelling as well. So fair points. I still enjoyed the match for what it was. Will this change the perception of Mark Davis? Not much, unfortunately. As you said, he's second to last, right behind Rocky Romero.
Curryhead's wrong. He's not on the same level as Hechicero. Hechicero's awesome. How dare you, sir? Hechicero's the man keeping the peace between the upper tier of that. Hechicero and Josh Alexander are like leaders of the B team. Let's put it that way. And then everybody else is below them. The Murder Hawk Monster, Trent, if he ever comes back around.
Oh my goodness.
Wardlow.
Oh my God. Like, now that you mention it.
El Clone.
Clone. When you break it down like that, when you think about the enormity of the Don Callis family, it really is. We have the main team, the professional leaguers out there, and then you have the G Squad. And the G Squad is, unfortunately, the Mark Davises, I wouldn't say Hechicero. I won't go there. The El Clones, for example, the Murder Hawk Monsters, like that rung is the G League members of the Don Callis family. And that's perfectly fine, because you got to have people to take pins.
Look, when we get to the Don Callis family versus Don Callis family feud, much like we did with the NWO, and we have the Don Callis Wolf Pack versus the Don Callis Black and White, and
Don Callis 2000.
I'm trying to hold this together. Josh Alexander's out there cutting those Stevie Ray promos. Well,
oh my God. Like, let's not fantasy book the factions, because I can do. Don't let me go back in time.
I'm cracking wise. That's all I'm doing. I'm not fantasy booking at all. I have no interest in having it. I want the Callis family to actually take an episode of Dynamite, take it over, and beat everybody up and go, we are the dominant faction here. Come get us. But they'll never do that either.
Fernando, of all the ones to acknowledge, they are the NWO Black and White, led by Stevie Ray. I mean, that's kind of where we are in some respects. I would go as far to say maybe they're part of the old school Millionaire Club and the Natural Born Thrillers. I'm going that far back in the bag. That's how old I am.
We go to TNA and go World Elite if you want to go there too, where everybody's a part of it. We've taken the Main Event Mafia. We've taken Team Canada. We've taken a bunch of other guys. They're World Elite.
Don Callis has created a multiverse, and I love that for him.
Mhm.
And it's a multiverse that will implode into multiple Earths eventually, because it's going to be like a fight on every planet involving 30 people of the same damn faction. So good for you, Don. Good for you. Feeding families across the nation and the world. All righty. So that was the opening match of Dynamite. Next, you can't top that after dissecting Mark Davis and Jon Moxley and his hand, as we hope that it heals as quickly as possible. As we get to FTR and Stokely addressing the Young Bucks in the next segment, and it was Stoke talking junk in his wheelchair, as he always does, talking about the Young Bucks and how they're not on FTR's level and how they're the best tag team in the world. And as he's talking, if he can sense something in the peripheral, something's amiss, something's afoot. It's the feet of the Young Bucks hitting FTR. And the fans are warring. And at that moment, I have to give Stokely a primetime Emmy for best reaction, because he knew at that moment he was doomed. And he said, they're behind me, aren't they? This is great. This is lovely. I'm going to die. I had a great life, guys. Going to be back in this wheelchair indefinitely. And everybody, and I'm not just talking about myself, I'm talking about HBO Max users. If you're using Fight TV, if you're using DirecTV, Xfinity, whatever provider you're using in America and worldwide to watch Dynamite, we saw a jump cut of a super kick party because we didn't see anything.
Okay, good. I thought it was me. I thought it was just the service I was using. Okay, good. We can't give short shrift to the setup of all this either, because it was fantastic. Number one, Dax coming out and talking about the origins of the FTR name and how they and the Bucks for like 10 years now have been going back and forth with the best tag team label. I liked that. And then Stokely. This was awesome because he's talking about, okay, I hate Mark and Nick Jackson. And you know who I hate just underneath them? Their wives. And as soon as they say the wives, you see the Bucks hop the railing in there. And even and right below that, they're bratty ass kids who are running around here in the locker room all over. And he's on one, so he can't notice anything. And he's hyper focused on which camera has the red light. And then he realizes something's amiss, and he's kind of at the, and he's hearing the crowd chant is how he figures it out. He doesn't figure it out by seeing either of his compadres fallen because they're out of his view. They're right back behind his peripheral vision. And then he realizes it because the crowd is telling him he's in trouble. I loved this segment. Boy, there was a point where you remember when Davis and Doyle were the contenders for FTR. I thought for certain that the bump he was going to take was a wheelchair off the stage. And while I like the super kick, and it was very well done, yeah, we missed it on a jump cut. That's the moment you're building to. That's the piece de la resistance. Right there. That's all we want to see is that first bump out of the chair because we know he's faking it. And they missed it. I can't I'm in shock that they missed it. I almost feel ripped off that they missed it. But if it was just like a satellite hookup issue, you can't fault them for it either. It's just the worst timing possible. And I feel bad for them, actually. I do, because it's like everything in this angle has been leading up to the moment where somebody does something to Stokely in the chair. And not just one service, everybody missed it.
Yes. This was a global glitch in the Matrix, and we have to hold the TBS satellites accountable for what happened. We have to hold them accountable for that glitch. And I wonder if Tony has the editor's cut of the non-jump cut of what happened. Can he provide that footage?
I want Stokely to thank somebody for that. I want him to come out next week and say, I'd like to thank the good brother in the truck who did not want to embarrass me. Whatever. Use this screw up to get him heat. And I'd be for that.
Yes. And Fernando knows that was not the only jump cut tonight. We're going back in time, y'all, to basic film school 101, but jump cuts from the 1950s. I love that for us. A good old fashioned jump cut out of nowhere that is so jarring that it's a jump cut.
Everything's got to become the beginning of the player. It's all jump cuts these days. It's not like the third man with that long tracking shot.
No,
we'll all go film nerd school here, guys, or film school nerd. Either way.
I love it. And then Lady B, hello, welcome, and is asking a very important question. She's wondering if they're saving the Stokely finally standing up for the Beth Cope spear to get his comeuppance when that happens.
They not only need to do that, they need to combine it with the Kevin Nash fake cast thing.
Yes.
Like he has to have, like I would put Stokely in like some form of body cast after this if you could, or something like that, and just work that until Revolution. And then at the moment where he's about to do that, yes, then you do the spear on him.
It's a must. It's the full circle moment that would totally make sense. Like I would love the forever gimmick of Stokely always being in a wheelchair. That has to be the money for the rest of his life. And then as it happens, his body will become a body cast because he has to sell every body part the more he gets hurt.
And then they eventually win the 6-man when Stokely pins somebody in the body cast.
Yes. As he rolls over.
Yes.
As a mummified Stoke to get the W.
He gets left on the street one day and somebody paints graffiti all over the body cast. Yeah, I'm here for this. I had that. I've actually pitched that idea. It was for Heyman at one point. I was going to put him in the elimination chamber and then have him come out in a body cast for weeks on end.
Listen, stuff is going to give you what you want in a different way. And I love that for you when it happens. And Lady B's also asking one of life's great questions. Where's Cope and Christian?
Absence makes the heart grow fonder.
Yeah, I agree. Let's miss them a little while longer. I know that Edge has some Disney Plus commitments. He's filming stuff. Totally understand it. I want to miss them a bit longer. I want them to really make me want to see them back in the tag team hunt.
I want them to be special attractions as opposed to weekly participants on the television.
Yeah, I think we're at that stage for sure as well. With their status in this business, let's make them special attractions that we should see occasionally and not every week. Because I will say that we'll get kind of tired if they go repetitive with their appearances on television.
And no offense to him, but Adam Copeland has his instincts have how do I put this nicely? He doesn't have the same good instincts that he may have used to. And he has a little theater kid in him.
Yeah.
And it doesn't work all the time. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh God. Don't give me Judgment Day flashbacks of the early days. Don't do that to me.
Because
that's the prime example. Yeah. That was a stretch of time that I don't want to remember. There were vampires. And I don't want to remember that. That is a combo of Redacted and Edge having that idea and it didn't work. And self-editing is his friend. It's his friend. As we now get to our AEW, let's see. Yes. Our TNT, or no, I take that back. I'm just going all over the place with the titles. The TBS Championship match involving Willow Nightingale, Marina Shafir, Mina Shirakawa, and Megan Bayne. And I thought this was a very good fatal 4-way match. It was a clean match without any outside interference. I thought things really picked up after the commercial break, and we had some teases of a potential title switch. Did not believe it for the most part, but I thought everybody shined, and Willow got the sneak win with a roll-up on Mina for the W when she went for that figure for a leg lock that got countered in the end.
Yeah, I'm gonna posit something to you and see if you agree or disagree. I think Megan Bain needs to be protected more. I think she wrestles too much, and I think she doesn't win enough. She wins, but it's like, it's usually in like a tag team schmoz or something like that. I think she's money. I do. And I'm hoping that this is setting up eventually Megan Bain and Willow. But it's one of those things. The one part I really like the Marina Megan Bain tete-a-tete, because Marina was laying in those kicks a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
This might have been Mina's best night in AEW. I'm trying to think of one that might have been better, but in terms of just being crisp and being in the right places and hitting things clean, I think this might have been her best night since signing to the roster. It was a very good match. Not sure the stolen roll up, babyface on babyface, is an interesting choice for an ending. I'm not sure how to feel about it, because it almost feels like Mina should be mad about that, because she was like, celebrating for the figure 4 and then got caught. But no, the match itself was great. I'm just wondering about the staging of certain things.
Totally fair. The ending, it was good, but I think that Mina sowed sadness for like 30 seconds, and then she shook Willow's hand. She was devastated, but great match.
And
Shook
now
her
people
hand
want to
there.
see me dance. It's like, yes, Mina, we do. Okay, we get it. We know what you bring to the table, and you're bringing it to the table.
She will dance her sorrows away, and I love that for her. But in that moment, at least she sowed sadness and devastation for a good 30 seconds. And I agree with you too about Megan Bain. She should be treated as a big deal, in that she should really take losses, and that she should be protected in these matches, and that she does lose a little bit too much. A little bit of that luster's gone, because when I look at her, she has presence for days. She's a powerhouse who's only going to get better the more she kind of figures things out as a hoss. And the money will be in Willow and Megan one-on-one for that championship at some point. But you want her to have that aura of protection, of like, when you see her, you fear her, because you can't beat her. I wish in some sense she was still undefeated in AEW, just to build her up for something, but can't go back in time, can't make that happen. But I do agree that when she's out there, she needs to be protected in this booking for sure.
They have an interesting problem from Saturday, because they introduced the Australian lady that they just signed, who's also a giant. And I'm getting the feeling that Megan's going to be going after the singles title, while Penelope and this other person is going to be the tag team. And I think people want to see the skyscrapers. I do. I think that's going to be, it's going to be one of those things where it's like, they're not going to mind this title program, but really, I want to see the Haas women just destroy people.
Yes.
And I'm wondering if the audience turns on a singles program just a little bit, not totally, not, they're booing it or whatever, but it's like, well, yeah, Penelope's good, and this other girl is new to us, so we're learning that, and they're fine as a team, and Penelope will take the losses. But really, we just want to see these two tall women with a lot of strength body some people. And I'm wondering if that might work a little bit against this program.
That is a good question. I honestly don't know. So we have to see how they present the trio on television moving forward. If you see the Kim with the skyscrapers, you got to go with it. If Tony sees it and envisions it like, maybe I need to pivot, maybe you do, because that's where the money is right now. I love Penelope Ford too, but I'm into horses. I like women who are huge, whipping ass, preferably as a tag team, being dominant in that division. Give me that.
I am here for the women having their own Gordy and Hanson. I am just two giant, their own road warriors, their own, skyscrapers, get Sid Vicious and Danny Spivey in there. Sure. Why not? And get them a manager and a mouthpiece. Maybe it can be Penelope. Maybe it can be somebody else. Let's see what we have with this act.
Absolutely. Curry head notes going back a little bit. Stokely and Don Callis already in contention for best non-wrestler. Right now, I would give it a Stoke, man, because that is commitment to be in a wheelchair and to continuously sell being hurt. And I know that the Vivian Banks Foundation is going to get some more donations tonight after what happened to him. A flood of money is coming in for that foundation.
That is the best reference he's ever dropped.
Yeah, of all time. The first Miss Vivian Banks, by the way, the first. The first one.
Look, I like. Who was the? I used to know her name offhand.
Daphne. I love Daphne too.
Yeah,
but OG ain't Viv.
But and also, Stokely has been. I mean, even when he was in NXT, he was passed over for this, and he was doing phenomenal work there. Callis has won this. Give it to Stoke this year.
Spread the wealth around. I love that. And Greg makes a great point. He would have had them beat down Penelope after the stare down this Saturday. I would have told Penelope, respectfully speaking, Valhalla doesn't need you. We don't. These Valkyries got this on lockdown. Seriously, like, with all due respect.
Yeah, I like Penelope with the act as kind of like the harbinger of doom. But yeah, maybe you beat her down. Maybe it's an abusive relationship where she keeps coming back. I don't know. I'd keep her with the act though, because somebody needs to eat the pins. So
yeah, and that totally makes sense because I don't want either of them to eat pins. Let Penelope Ford be the designated person to lose all of their matches. I'm here for that. As Curry had notes, give me a female version of Miracle Violence Connection. Yes, we are petitioning that with the Skyscrapers. That is a badass name, by the way. Tony Khan, if you're listening, trademark that. And you need to give Jeff like at least 20% of that, please. And thank you.
Yeah, stop the portmanteaus and everything. Let's get a good name for this team.
Yes, and Greg notes, Skyscrapers versus Brawling Birds would rule. Listen, the name sells itself. Come on now. Come on. Perfection. Alrighty. And then we had this lovely tribute on commentary to one of the late directors of WWE television. Curran Seifels passed away a couple of days ago, and Tony Schiavone talked about working with him early in his career. And Bryan Danielson got choked up on commentary talking about his time in WWE with Curran directing him. I thought that was a touching moment. And AEW is always first class with tributes for people that don't even work for their company necessarily, but they show love to people that made an impact on this business, regardless of what company they worked for. So I thought that was a lovely tribute by everyone on the commentary desk.
Let me be honest. You also have to give a little bit of credit to WWE when they do it for other things too. Ever since Vince left, there's been a lot. It's not that everybody talks about Triple H being mini Vince and wanting to kill competition, stuff like that. But there's been, at least amongst the rank and file, cross-pollination on the respect stuff, which is nice to see from time to time. I was shocked that this was on TV, to be honest with you, because I didn't think, and I saw it, I'm like, okay, I don't know enough about the guy or whatever, but you know what? If it was enough for both of them to be moved by it to get on TV, he must have been important to them, and I appreciate them giving him that time.
Yeah,
much like I did when Bob Caudle passed away, because I know that meant a lot to Tony Schiavone to be able to talk about that on the air.
Yeah, I thought it was big to do that. Very classy. In WWE, they do mention those kind of passings, and they talk about retirements from other promotions too. They find a way to wiggle that in there in their commentary somehow, some way. So it's been a bit better, because in Vince's WWE, that would never, ever happen. We don't acknowledge.
Nobody knows who they are, damn it. And it starts screaming in the headset of whoever mentioned the person. Nobody knows them because they're not on our TV.
Exactly. And glad that kind of thing is dying out. Like, we just acknowledge people that just made an impact in the industry, regardless of what company they worked for. Show respect. And AEW did a great job of that last night. And Danielson, like, he got me because he was so emotional, because clearly that relationship meant something to him during his time there. But good stuff by AEW per the usual. As we get to the top of the hour segment involving the Triple B, the AEW World Champion, MJF, because Jeff is ready to dive into this segment because we got high stakes, folks. So MJF basically comes out to say that Hangman Page sucks. He hates how he walks, hate how he talks, hate how he wrestles, hate how he's a shill. He hates everything about him and how he's had the chance to win the AEW World Championship not once but twice, had the opportunity to be the guy, the ace, the face of the company, the main champion. And according to MJF, he choked both times under pressure. So I know that you're thinking about number 3. If you get to beat me at Revolution, if you win, what if 3 times not the charm? That the same thing will happen again, that you win, you have your celebration, and then you mess around and you throw it all away and you will screw it up. And so we had Hangman offer a rebuttal to MJF, trying to counter those arguments per the usual. And we now have quite a step because Hangman has a go-to in life when things are tough. When you need finality, when you want to prove who's really the best, he's going to throw this step out there. He says, if you agree to this, then let's do it. And the fans are chanting Texas death, Texas death. He wants a Texas death match at Revolution. And MJF says that's uncivilized. I want you one-on-one in a traditional professional wrestling match. No gimmicks, no blood, no BS. Give me a professional wrestling match. So MJF is not, he's not standing down from his stance. So Hangman Adam Page says, okay, I got to do something. I got to do something to convince you to say yes. So I will do this. I will give you something in return if you say yes to my stipulation. If you say yes, and if I don't win, if I don't beat you to win the AEW World Championship, I promise to never, ever challenge for the AEW World Championship ever again. Not while Maxwell's champion, ever again. In my tenure, in my life in AEW, I will never challenge for this championship again. He pushed the Cody Rhodes button. He hit the Cody. And MJF says, give me a week or 2 to think about this. Let me marinate on this choice. This is a big decision to make. And Hangman's like, you know what the answer is going to be. Texas death. Drops the mic. There we go. The stakes have been risen, Jeff. We have Texas death with the added step that Hangman will never, ever challenge for the championship if he loses.
The Jeff Hawkins School of Promos is very happy right now because they are incorporating the lessons that I teach on this show. Number 1, have your emotion and let that feed you. And number 2, just say you hate the other person. That's all I want in a feud is for you to say, I hate you. And he said, I hate this. I hate you. I hate this. I hate that. I hate it with a wiffle ball bat. I hate everything about you. I loved MJF's promo. Hangman tried. I am tired of hearing about MJF's hair transplant. All right. As a bald man, brother got paid to go to Turkey and get that special hair transplant. Let's stop hearing about it, please. But we got there. Yes, Texas death is his crutch. And I loved MJF's reaction to it. It reminds me of an old Crockett promo with Tully and Arn. And Jim Crockett comes in and goes, yeah, we've signed the contract, and there's a stipulation, and it's going to be lumberjacks, and they're going to have belts. And Arn and Tully are like, what happened to wrestling? What is this? What is this stipulation stuff? And that was what I thought of when I heard MJF's reaction to this. Also now, an added thing into the Jeff Hawkins School of conspiracies. Hangman is going to retcon this Cody story. And my opinion is he's going to break his promise. and he's going to eventually fight for that title again when he turns heel. And say, yeah, I used to believe that, but I don't even. Or he's going to cheat and win this match, which will be spectacular in some way. I think Hangman's a secret heel. I do. That's my theory, and it has been this entire time. I think he's secretly a heel, and he's going to eventually show himself and join up with Swerve again. But yeah, I'm here for them taking the Cody stip, which I believe he put in against. Did he not put in this stip when he fought MJF? Am I wrong on that, or am I thinking of a different match?
He did it to Chris Jericho.
Never mind. Okay, never mind. But I love that they're using this history to toy with the emotions of AEW fans. I do. I am absolutely for this. I don't think they're going to tell the story the same way. And I think it's going to give the fans some closure when he decides, screw this dumbass stipulation. I'm fighting for the title again. And they go, oh, he broke his word. Boo. But yay. I'm here for this. I adored this entire segment. I did. I'm trying to figure out though. Okay. So Hangman wants Texas Death, and MJF is going off to think about it or to come up with his own, or what? If I lose this match, I have to do this. What is he going off to think about exactly? Help me out with that part, because I was a little confused by it.
Yeah, he just said he wants a week to determine the stipulation. But like, Hangman has delivered a layup for you. He's giving you the stip and another stip at the same time to say, listen, if you agree to do this match, I will put this thing up on the line, which is basically in the future title shot ever for this particular championship. I did make a joke on the Discord by saying that Hangman's going to be a 30-time TNT champion now because he has to aspire for new goals in life.
Hey, it's working for Kyle Fletcher.
Yes, it is.
So, and for Mark Briscoe.
It's like you're falling up, essentially. Like you're falling back into a pretty decent backup plan.
I'm not fantasy booking here, but I think he's going to reject Texas Death. He's going to want the straight match, but he'll take the never fight for the title again stip, and Hangman's going to cheat. That's where I'm going with this. I think that's going to happen. Maybe. Who knows? Or he's going to screw somebody eventually. That he may screw Kenny. But I don't know.
He could screw Swerve too. I mean,
I don't want to go back to that just yet. That's the Fletcher Mark Briscoe thing. We've seen that enough. Let's cool that off a little bit, kids. It'll be interesting. They got me with this. The promo was spectacular. The stipulations, I don't want to see MJF in a Texas Death match necessarily. I've had enough of Texas Death matches too, to be honest with you. Once Swerve started drinking blood, I'm like, you can't top this. No. And it's going to involve a staple gun, which I hate. It's the worst prop in wrestling. But yeah, no, I'm here for this. This was very good.
Yes, I will say that MJF cleared the promo for sure. He had the better material, had more fire. I will say that Hangman had an incredible line talking about the hair. Now, listen, that man went where he needed to go to get that transplant. He called John Cena's doctor, got the deal done. He needs to go to John Cena's stylist and get a proper cut of the hair, because that's the only issue. The styling and the mode of the transplant needs a little bit of help. But then that man said, Hangman Page said on a live microphone, that his head is thicker than Mark Davis. That is thick. That is a level of thick that I've never seen thick before in my life.
I'm going to ask a question. I'm sure I know the answer already, but have you ever researched these Turkish hair transplants and what they do?
I have dived into it because of Travis.
Okay.
Because he went there too. He went there
did
too.
He?
He did. That's a new rug he has on his head. That is not something he grew in the States.
This looks like the worst thing I've ever seen because they just put you back. I mean, they now look, my hair started to go early. So I researched some of this stuff into hair transplants and microscalping and stuff like that. This thing looks like they do your entire head. And then they just stick you back on a plane with its scabbing and everything on an international flight of some. I'm like, that can't be fun in a pressurized cabin. No bueno. I mean, MJF already has enough problems with his hair in terms of it's naturally curly and he keeps straightening it. And as it grows out, it gets curly again.
Yes.
Transplanted hair is even more unruly because they're taking it from the back of your head and putting it in the front. And the back of your head hair doesn't act the same way as your former hairline did. Tonight, the hairline looked a little confused. That's all I'm going to say.
It did.
It was like straightened and then not. And you're like, okay, cool. But look, I understand that Hangman has been blessed with a full head of hair well into adulthood. Mm-hmm. That makes him the heel.
Listen, Hangman has some of the best conditioned hair in the business. He's clearly got a new conditioner in the last 4 or 5 months. Hair is luxurious. I love that for me. And I need MJF to figure that out. Because as you said, he has naturally curly hair. And that transplant's got a struggle going on. Like one part wants to be naturally curly. It wants to activate really, really badly. And in the back end wants to be real straight. He has to have a come to Jesus moment and decide, what do you want to do with your hair?
Yeah. As if there weren't enough reasons to hate Hangman. Virginia Tech grad, luxurious hair. Ladies love him. Although Clark Connors is now in the company, so they may be sharing tips. I think they both have luscious heads of hair. Those two. But let's move on.
Yes, Lady B says the curls be curling on Hangman. Yes, they have lately. You know, that routine, whatever he's using is great. And as you said, he has a doppelganger now, Clark Connors. Because when I see him in AEW, I said, is that Hangman's long lost son now? His twin?
They're both sharing the sun and getting those blonde streaks in there.
The blonde streaks, I mean, very, very similar. Someone has to cut their hair. Clark Connors, it has to be you. You have to cut your hair. It's too luxurious. So it was a conglomeration, Orange Cassidy and Ishii versus the War Dogs, Gabe Kidd and Clark Connors. This match was very good, but I want to say prayers up to Ishii's hamstring because I fear that it might be gone.
I thought it was a work for a long time, and then you realize, no, it's not. He snapped that thing.
Yeah.
Although, again, Tomohiro Ishii on Dynamite means automatic loss usually, so or winning in a tag team. Like, he has never had a singles win on Dynamite. His last win was in a multi-person tag. I think it was a 10-man tag in August of last year. I love Ishii. Again, this is a guy that they just bring out, and he has good matches, but he's there to get beat up and lose. But man, yeah, no, that him finishing that match, because you could see they were asking, "Do you want to stop?" And he goes, "No." Between him and Mark Davis, we're getting a group discount in the Sacramento hospital tonight. Man, I hope, and he's 50.
Yes.
He was born in 75.
Yeah.
I hope this isn't the end of Ishii.
God, when you say it like that, that makes me a little sad because I have enjoyed his run so much, but his body is starting to betray him. And when he just started to get that catch in his hamstring, I said, oh no. And then I thought when Clark went for the pin, it was let's go home. Let's go to the finish.
Yeah.
Let's just get it done. Then he kicked out like, okay, is he selling? Then the match
ran
continues.
the ropes, and it looked like it didn't hurt him until he landed. It looked like he was fine on adrenaline, and then he gets slammed, and then he holds it, and you're like, "Oh, you fool! You're just gonna run on it and try and finish this match? Don't be a hero. Let's just go home, man."
Yes. Then it continues, and he wants to say, "Well, let me use my really bad hammy to elevate Clark for the brain buster. That does take some effort and core strength to hit." for the W, and he got it. And then the referee immediately checked on him because he collapsed. And I said, oh man, the hamstring's gone. It is, because that was not a worked injury. That was a straight up shoot. And I have to give him credit because he powered through. And I for sure thought that it was going to end earlier than it did, but they kept going and they got to the finish. But at what cost? At Sacramento General Hospital tonight.
I'm looking up to see if there's an update on him or not. Can't find one offhand. So if someone in the chat find it, let us know, please.
Yes. We appreciate that because I hope he's okay, but I just don't know. I'm concerned. I know the referee was checking in on him after the match was over, and it was not looking good. I will definitely say that. So I hope that everything is good, but I simply do not know at this point. As we get to our next match, the debut in ring of the Brawling Birds, Jamie Hayter and Alex Windsor versus Viva Van and Becca. Now, I'm going to take the Jeff Hawkins stance of this match went too long. And how come the Brawling Birds so much for this team? Mm-hmm.
Continue. I'm listening. Please.
I sat there. I sat there at home and I'm analyzing this match. And I said, we're trying to give the Brawling Birds a dominant, decisive first victory as a tag team. With all due respect to Viva Van and Becca, this is not your showcase.
No, this is the introduction of the team. I want to know their finishers. I want to know their combo moves, and I want to see murder death. That's all I want to see out of the Brawling Birds. And instead, we got a good match. I was like, no, not the time. Not the time.
This is not the time. This is not the place. Becca was getting over. The audacity of that. The audacity.
What are we doing? No.
Like, it's like, wait, pause, time out.
It's like that moment in the Running Man, in the original Running Man, where they go, I'm going to bet on Ben Richards. It's like, wait, what? No, not supposed to do that. And yeah, I want to see them against the Skyscrapers. I want to see just two badass teams that can bully people fighting each other. And you're not going to get that with giving Viva Van and Becca offense. No. 9-0 zip 0 nada. This should have been a 3-minute squash tops.
Yes. A whooping. Thank you, Curry Head.
Oh, Curry.
3 minutes or less.
Yes.
Try 90 seconds. I would have been cool with that. Like, this is you run through them and we go home. We don't want a back and forth match. With all due respect to Viva Van and Becca, and you're probably going to be all elite when this is all said and done. Like, this is your audition tape indirectly. And Tony says hired.
You go over there with Hyann and that other one. Just like Ring of Honor bound. Good for you all. But yes, when you're introducing a team and you want them to be destroyers, have them destroy. I don't care if this is somebody's hometown. They will still respect them in the morning. They are talented. Just wasn't their day. Squash them and forget about it and repackage them later.
Please do. That's all we ask. But the Brawling Birds got the W with the heart attack finish. Thank you. Love the finish. Clean, hard-hitting, nice. But I just wanted 90 seconds. That's all I wanted. Not a 3-minute back-and-forth match.
Jamie Hayter is so my jam. I love she
rules.
I thought she had actually hit Beck in the face on that heart attack.
Yeah, she put some hot sauce on it.
Yeah.
I loved it. I needed more of that in my 90 seconds, but I got 3 minutes, and I will live and endure. But go Brawling Birds. I look forward to them facing the Skyscrapers. If we can make that dream come true, because manifestation is real. It's real. And I believe in it. And I have Jeff's back that this will happen.
Oh, and just make it stiff. Just make it stiff. It'll be awesome. And it'll make that women's tag division something
for sure. As we get to AEW Trios champion Kevin Knight versus the Beast Mortos. You know, with all due respect to both men, and I enjoy both men very much, this could have been an email on Collision.
This could have been an email. will disagree on this a little bit because Mortos is a big dude who can fly, and Kevin Knight is not a big dude. So if you're going to do David versus Goliath, Goliath's got to get some licks in. Now, that said, as much as I love Mortos, and I want that Mortos Hechicero team to do something that they never have done before, I don't know what you do with a guy like Mortos because Roosh is rarely around. Andrade is with the Callis family. I don't want to see Roderick Strong turning him into a polo shirt wearing guy again. What do you do with Hechicero because you keep beating him so much? I don't know. I mean, it's a good win for Kevin Knight, and I suppose it's to set up a 6-man match with someone down the road. I forgot who it was. Did they set up one during the show or no?
It was like a challenge. If Mortos won, they would have got a shot on Collision, but since he lost, no shot for you.
Yeah, I hate qualifiers like that. Just build up a team and do it. But it was fine. It felt out of place on the show, to be honest with you.
Yeah. Listen, Curryhead, I know what I said sounded really cruel, but am I lying? This could have been an email on Collision. Could have been a perfectly fine match. Could have been an email. Open it up later, dial it up. There you go. A nice 10-minute match on Collision this Saturday, live on TNT. And then if it was a qualifying match, if he would have won, then guess what? You could have did it on Dynamite and it would have meant a little bit more.
Yeah. Agreed.
Give more time to the main event. First time ever match. You could have shaved this off the show.
Paul and I every week talk about, this show ended at 7:20 my time, which is usually the time we go live on air. And it's like, we don't need these overruns every week. Just do the 2-hour show. And then when you need an overrun for it to be really, really special, then we will all hang around. But they're doing that thing. Back in the old days when TBS was doing shows and stuff, they used to start shows at 6:05. And that way the show would bleed into the top of the next hour for the ratings boost type thing. That's what this feels like to me.
Yeah, I feel that. And I want to clarify something because I know there's a lot of questions about the overrun and how, is it added for certain providers? I can tell you, I have Xfinity. They do not add that overrun.
Yeah, YouTube doesn't either.
No. This is a wide-ranging issue with this overrun. And it's gone from 5 minutes to 10 minutes and now 20 minutes after the hour. They need to figure out the overrun and figure out the guide to the providers. And I know there's been a debate, who needs to call who. Tony needs to call all the providers and get them information because this is a wide-ranging issue because, 20 minutes is crazy for an overrun without any notation to say, hey, by the way, there's an overrun.
Not everybody can watch it live. I just think it's rude for the people who need a DVR recorded because they have family or lives or something. I know Tony's a sicko. I know Tony's life is wrestling. He does it for the podcast. Catcher or podcasters, thanks, but really less is more. Just give me a tight 2-hour show and I'd be happy. You could have gotten rid of the Kevin Knight match. You could have cut a little bit off of that first match with Moxley and Dunkzilla. You probably could have cut some off of the or you could have cut some off of that squat of the Brawling Birds match, and we would have been happy and would have been solid.
Yeah, I'm with Curryhead. I think that they're teasing 3 hours. Just do it at this point. Go the full 3 hours or 2 hours and 30 minutes. I love AEW too, but I'm sick and tired of the overruns every week. It's been going on for over 2 years now. It's getting a little crazy because if I'm watching live, for example, and if I am watching, okay, it's 10:10, it's 10:15, it's 10:20. If I'm not watching live, now I have to manually set my DVR not for 5 minutes after the hour, not for 10, maybe 30 minutes after the hour now, because I don't know when the show's going off the air. They got to figure that out. But I do get the feeling they are teasing a third hour, and we just got to get used to it at this point. It's coming. Yeah. It's coming. And to answer your question, Jeff, about what will Jet Speed be doing potentially on Saturday? Well, they have a date with GOA because they want those
That's right.
trio
Oh, that's
titles.
right. Yeah. You give it to them.
Yes, just give it to them. No qualifying needed.
Okay. Frees up Hangman to do whatever he's going to do in his thing. Because like one of those things where, they're not going to switch it on. They'll switch it at a pay-per-view. They won't switch it at a rando collision, I don't think. Not with Hangman involved. Now, when Hangman does whatever he does and becomes a tipping point between him and, thank you, John LaRocca, Speedboat and Kevin Knight, then they'll lose it. That's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking somewhere along the line, Hangman just bails on these two and they lose.
Yeah, to really submit what you want to happen. The heel turn. It's all a part of the plan. It's all a part of the setup if it comes to pass. And then there was like a knife that was stabbed in the locker room door of Ricochet. And he's like, nothing to see here. Someone's threatening you with a knife. You should be scared.
I concur. Actual weapons in wrestling should scare some people. Yes.
Yes, of course. And before we get to the main event, I have to go back to the Ishii and Orange Cassidy match because something happened towards the end. And the thing that happened was Darby Allin and his skateboard attacked Gabe Kidd to continue another feud that will never die.
It's the Chicken and Peter Griffin. just gonna remember forever. I think we also missed a promo in here. We missed the Hook promo.
Yes, him recruiting people.
Great. So we have international recruitment and domestic recruitment for the ops.
Yes. A high-level operation this is, Jeff. High-level operation.
You know, I went to a lacrosse school. I appreciate his talent, but Bucknell and Sacred Heart don't move me. This is all to set up Joe beating his ass, right?
It's gotta be.
Has to be.
It's gotta be leading to this.
Who would you recruit though in there? I mean, who's on that roster that you go, who's going to be an op?
Man, that is a good question. Who is going to be an op at this point? Do the ops take over the leftovers of the Death Riders when they turn on Moxley? Are those the new ops?
No. They're their own crew. I see him like, God, it feels like Comedy Guy.
Yeah.
Or maybe Roddy. Because I thought Roddy might go with the Death Riders at first, but he may go with the ops instead to give him some personality.
Need a little something. I just laugh at Orange Cassidy, just confused as to why Roddy wasn't there. He says he's not a part of this group, but he takes a part in the video shoots and the photo shoots and the t-shirts. For someone that's not a part of any of this, he loves the residuals.
I love the appeal to reason and logic. He's not a part of, he doesn't want to be a part of this group, but he's showing up for the video shoots.
Yes, he's showing up on time, dedicating hours of his day.
Knows his lines,
hits his spots.
Can find his light when he needs to.
Yes.
He's the perfect actor.
I mean, the dedication to not really caring, but somehow finding the reason to care, to be on time, to be prompt, to be present, to hit his lines, hit his mark, and say F this at the same time. It's amazing the flexibility he has.
All right, Fernando, I'm kind of here for this if they give them a full-on attitude adjustment and don't make them comedy guys.
Yeah.
I kind of am. I'd like to see what a serious Outrunners would do. Now, nobody in the crowd wants to see that, and we haven't seen them for ages on Dynamite.
I love
but
it.
if you're going to refurbish them, sure.
Absolutely. And then Curry Head says, do you remember when the ops were great? And then he says, neither do I.
Wow. Look, Joe, Shibata, and Hobbs.
That was a unit. I love them.
I love them, but they never did anything with them.
Yeah.
That's the problem with it.
Yeah.
They could have made them, wreak havoc there, and they never did. And, Joe's always going to have that presence to lead a group. It's just they never wanted to. Hobbs isn't a star rating guy, so that always hurt them.
Yeah, I love that OG unit. They had like the presence, but as you said, like they hardly defended their titles. That's always a crutch with the ops. Like they have things, but they don't defend and they're not like consistent. And then there's injuries. Joe's out again. I hope he's okay. Now we know.
And then they decided to freshen it up with the Shibata translator gimmick on the phone, and that was ass. I hated that.
Yeah. And they got rid of it. So like, we need some fine tuning. I'm just laughing at the fact that Taz on commentary in character is all in on Hook being an op until Joe smashes him. And then it's going to be like F Joe again. Just wait for it.
I'm trying to think of a bad recruiter. How bad of a recruiter is Hook? Like he gets like Pete Avalon and Helico. Who's the guy who was translating for I forgot his real name. He's Serpentico usually.
Oh God.
That dude. Let's get to this main event because it's awesome.
Yes, main event. First time ever. I love first time ever matches that we've never seen in life between two guys who are trying to vie for a shot at the AEW championship at some point down the road. And it was Kenny Omega versus Swerve Strickland. And in moments like this, I like to cede the floor to Jeff Hawkins to express his feelings, his thoughts, and his vibes about this match. And I'll jump in accordingly because I feel as if Jeff has a lot to unpack.
I really don't. That's why I'm thrown off by this. Very strong match because my quibbles are getting in the way of it being a great match. And it was a great match. Don't get me wrong. I think Danielson had the best point where it's like, you won clean. Why are you doing this after the match? Because that's the most interesting part of it to me. Other than I had been waiting and I thought it should have been on a pay-per-view, but you knew it was going to come eventually. And oddly enough, I'm shocked that they let it go this long before Aubrey took a bump from a guy. I watched that and I went, I want to put that on weekly television. I would have made that the crux of a pay-per-view. And while this match was pay-per-view caliber in every way, I don't think I would have made that the narrative focus of this match. I would have gone a different direction. But overall, I mean, other than Kenny on the guardrail, which, boy, that was just unnecessariness. But they hit it after the second try. The go home segment of this was spectacular, I thought. Do they rely a little bit on kickouts after finishers a little bit too much? A little bit. Do they rely on big move after big move after big move after big move after big move with a lack of selling? A little bit. But again, my only other quibble was if this had been the end of a tight 2 hours, we'd be remembering this Dynamite as one of the better Dynamites in history. I think the fact that it went over 20 minutes hurts it a bit. But the match was fantastic. I'm here for Swerve finally embracing his inner asshole. Interesting that he hanged Kenny.
Mm-hmm.
Also interesting that Hangman didn't save Kenny, even though he was in the building. I'm hoping that these are seeds that are being planted and we don't get that. I need this heel Hangman run now. I'm so invested in it, even though I haven't seen proof it's happening. But, Swerve, I think Swerve's a much better heel than a babyface. I do. I think the Nana dancing has kind of overshadowed Swerve, and Swerve tries to be a cool heel babyface, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Whereas when he's evil and he's much more straight to the point without trying to be cool. And I like that when Swerve's a heel. I think Swerve is a much stronger heel than he is a babyface. But the matches, I mean, and I'm admittedly not the biggest Kenny fan in the world. I like Kenny. I respect Kenny. I think Kenny's a great wrestler. I think he needs to, for me, the selling thing tends to be the issue with me, because I think it's like, get up, do next big move. But this is what the people wanted, and it was a great match. And I've rambled on long enough. Give me your thoughts.
I loved it. I was surprised by how the match ended, because I didn't kind of see the Swerve turn coming, but desperate times calls for desperate measures when you're trying to prove a point. And I'm with Danielson. Did you really need to do this? Was it really necessary?
It's interesting they did a mostly clean finish. We did have a ref bump, and then he does the heel turn.
Yes.
That's an interesting wrinkle on things, as opposed to, oh, I cheated to win the match and now I'm a heel. I like this better. I still have all the skill in the world and I don't need to cheat, but now I'm going to be a bastard right after the match. I really like that in terms of the staging.
Yeah, that I dug. The reasoning, Danielson made a great point. Like, you won, you proved your point. Why? But you have to prove your point that, hey, I can do this because I can. Yes, I won the match, but I'm going to prove a point of how evil I can truly be. And I do think that Nana dancing has kind of reached its limit now, especially with the music switching up. Doesn't quite match the vibe anymore. Let's retire the dancing, or else we have to have Swerve kill off Nana, potentially, because that is his one weakness, the one bit of humanity that makes him like, okay, I have a soft spot for my dude. But if he's going to continue this, we might have to sever ties. But if he can kind of keep straight and not dance, then there's still money there, because we know Nana can be a great heel manager.
Well, we also had the towel that said the embassy last week. So
are we trying to reboot the embassy again?
Well, okay, let me throw this at you. The ops joined the embassy.
No. No.
Because if everybody's recruiting and there's nobody to be recruited, eventually they're going to recruit each other.
Lord, listen, it's recruitment season for these factions, but no, I think I would throw in the towel if that happened. So no. I'd like
Swerve to go off on his own with no lackeys too. I think, look, as much as I love the Gates of Agony, and I thought they were a great unit too, I thought it kind of held him back when he was doing the mogul embassies stuff. I didn't need, they didn't do much better with Brian Cage either, but at the same time, I'd like to see, let's just have Swerve and Hangman be at it alone with no Nana in there.
I want that too. And then one of them has to break free from the other in 5 years, because we can't have them be.
Yeah, they can't do it forever.
They can't do it forever, but we don't need them to be back to being rivals immediately. They need to be on a heel, the dream two-man power trip for now. One is comfortable not being the champion while supporting the champ in that moment. And if you want this to happen, then Hangman has to beat MJF with Swerve's help, because he hates MJF too. And they're the two guys running ish on AEW television, and they have to be a duo. It cannot be a faction, because I just think that factions don't work for Swerve. They just don't click.
And I think it needs to not be passive aggressive friendship between Hangman and like, hey, occasionally bringing up the burning the house down and stuff like that. They can't do that. They have to be on the same page and united. And it can't be like Hangman has a problem when he plays rage, in that he can't get out of his rage and it becomes almost uncomfortable watching his rage. I'd like to see him embrace something else, like almost cocky heel Swerve, or cocky heel Hangman would be fascinating to me.
It would. There was money when they started working together, like the silent killers out there, just coming out there separately with their chains and just being about that work. It's going to come to fruition, I think, at Revolution. It has to. I love the vision. They need to be a duo for a very long time, but one guy has to be comfortable enough not to be the guy with the championship. And for right now, it's got to be Swerve. If you're going to get the belt off of MJF, you have to do this. And it might be the money of Ospreay coming back for All In London to build towards the championship match, possibly against Hangman or Swerve, whatever comes first. I do think that's what they're building towards. The Ospreay video packages are not a mistake. They have a timeline of his return, and it will be by the summer.
Yeah, if he's ready for Wembley, it's going to be there.
Yeah,
and it would be very interesting. See, it's weird because that's Tony's work rate brain going. He's like, what would people rather see? Ospreay and MJF or Ospreay and Hangman? I don't think you can do a short title reign for MJF though. That's the thing that's bugging me about it.
I know, but they've been doing these short reigns lately.
Yeah,
they have been doing it. It would not surprise me if this is a short run for MJF.
It wouldn't either. But I like this reign better than the first one.
Really?
I like this better than the brochachos.
Yeah. Oh God. Listen, to know what the payoff was at the end, I love and hate that period of time.
I like that he's been more serious. He hasn't been as chicken shit. He did have that moment against Brody King, which I didn't want, but I want, this is kind of the MJF I wanted to see though. I've wanted to see him confident MJF.
Yes.
As opposed to comedic MJF, which is a welcome change. But again, we have an embarrassment of riches up top in the main event scene. They just need to pick one and have him beat everybody else. There's 7 guys. There's 7 guys that can be the guy. Pick one to be the guy. That's all I want.
Stick to it. Stick to that choice. You have plenty to choose from. And I'd love the fact that MJF, for this run in his promos, for the vast majority as of late, has not been edgelordish. Thank you. That's growth for him, to know that I can pull back on the lowest common denominator heat and just talk your stuff confidently, still be a complete ass, but not go to the gutter with your points.
Right, because it's feast or famine when he does that.
Yeah.
And even when it's feast, it makes them like him. And I don't think I think, again, my favorite heel is Tully Blanchard. And Tully Blanchard had his own coworkers hating him when he was a wrestler. So I think there's something to just be genuinely hated as opposed to, cheap sports shtick or edgelord stuff or cracking the funny joke and being the cool heel. I think just being the heel is great for him.
Yeah, I definitely agree. And Fernando knows, for me, Swerve turned heel when he pulled Aubrey into Kenny. That was possibly the moment too. Possibly the moment as well.
But they played it off as dumb.
Yeah.
I think it was inadvertent.
Well, that is Excalibur and Tony's fault and Brian's fault on commentary to saying, oh my God, what an accident.
If we are going there, let's go there. And do it as opposed to, I didn't see that. Let me see the angle on that again. Oh, it's don't make the people who are telling us what's going on look stupid either.
That's a crutch of the announcer sometimes, for sure. As Curryhead has a great question for us. Do you think this oversaturation of main event talent hurts the mid-card talent in any way?
Yes. Because who's going to lose that main event talent on week-to-week television when we want to see him wrestle? That's why Kevin Knight doesn't matter in AEW right now. They brought him in for the Continental Classic. They put him in all these great matches. He gets a win over one of the main event guys, and it doesn't matter. And we just throw him back into another match with another main eventer. Oh, and we give him the occasional win over people who are beneath him. But it goes to my philosophy on weekly television. I don't want to have good matches. I want to have one good match and a bunch of angles and promos, but you can't do that for 2 or 3 hours. You can do that on a 1-hour show. 2 hours, you're pushing it.
Definitely. I think that the answer is yes, that is hurting the mid-card talent. And I know it has been a question as to the question of who is being elevated in the mid-card scene to get to the main event level. And this is how I approach the answer. It's that you have moments of your Kyle Fletchers and your Brody Kings having the moment of smelling the main event scene, sniffing at that top championship, and then they don't win. And guess what? They go back down to where they were before. So is it really an elevation? The answer is no. Look at Speedball, for example. You go out there and you beat Kyle Fletcher. Where is he today? He's a trios champion, but does it really matter? No. It's like you're in the same spot once you touch or even look at the sun directly of success. That's where I'm at. So
and look at Kyle Fletcher now too. Yeah. I mean, he was elevated to the main event program, and then now he's back doing the TNT thing when we thought he had graduated from there. And to me, that's the guy. That's the guy you have beat everybody else, and you make him world champion. But we're going these other ways because Tony's looking at various venues and who's going to have the hometown pop and who would it be a good story for here and there and there. When what they need is a breakout star.
Yeah.
A true, I can go on different media. I can talk to them. I can do everything here. I can be the logo, so to speak. They need the logo, and they need to pick one of these guys to be the logo. And it's not coming out of the mid card. So stop doing the good matches.
I mean, listen, it's for the sickos. The good matches are great, but who are we elevating at the end of the day? And the answer is Kyle Fletcher should be the next guy in line, but he might not be the guy for 2 to 3 years. And that is not me exaggerating. That's a fact. If he's going to be a multi-time TNT champion, that is his gatekeeper role right now, to be in that role versus being in the main event mix. They're going to slow burn him into Tetsuya. It's going to be a couple of years, if not more, because Tony has laid out the groundwork for who he's pushing right now, and it's not them in the main event scene.
And that's the kind of thing where when it comes contract time, somebody's going to be whispering in his ear, you know what? We'll do you right.
Yeah.
And he goes to, and he shows up and he wins the NXT title on his first night, and he's on his way to the main roster. Serious.
I mean, seriously, but if you think that Jeff's joking, he's not, because when you're there for 3 to 5 years and you see your upward mobility isn't where it needs to be, you will hear those whispers like, I can give you something else.
You have friends in the other company. I mean, always, no matter where you are. If you're in WWE, you have friends in AEW. If you're in AEW, you have friends in WWE. So everybody talks. That's all I'm saying.
It's cross-pollination. It's a real thing. So I hope they figure this out, because there is going to be a backlog in the mid-card scene of people trying to move up, but it's going to be challenging for sure. And that's a great point, Curryhead. And that was the end of AEW Dynamite. A very long show once again. Fernando loves the overruns. I wish they ended at 10.
Fernando loves everything, though. This isn't fair. Like, I think there was one week where he didn't like something, and we were all taking a bat in the chat. And I love Fernando to death, and I love his cushy optimism, but it's just like, and I bet you he's younger, so this is kind of his prime fandom type. So yes, give me everything. Give me 3-hour shows. Give me wrestling every day of the week. I used to be like this, so I have to be empathetic to that.
You popped him like, yes.
I know.
Yes,
yeah,
yes.
I get it. Trust me, when I got cable and I could watch wrestling from different promotions every day when I was like 15, I was in hog heaven. So I get you, man.
Yeah, I totally get it. But I love my wrestling at a nice, comfortable 2 hours. I can barely make it through 3 hours of SmackDown. I tolerate Monday Night Raw, NXT in smooth at 10. I appreciate that. Dynamite won't stand at 10:30 most weeks. I'm like, okay.
I want to watch other things occasionally.
Yes, I want to go to sleep, actually, if I can, during the week, because I am busy at least 4 out of 5 days in terms of wrestling. I want my sleep. I'm reclaiming my sleeping time for sure. But that is a wrap for the Dynamite Show. Thank you guys for tuning in. It was a pleasure for me sitting in on behalf of the one and only Paul Fontaine. He will be back next week to restore order, as I am now off duty babysitting Jeff. He was on his best behavior tonight.
I'll give you a tip at the end of the night. It'll be great.
Thank you. I'll take my $1 and I'll put it in a piggy bank and save it, and know that I have to break it and say I'll use it again when you tap me in the next 2 years. I make biannual appearances here for your listening and viewing pleasure. That's what I do.
feeling for me.
Alrighty, so Paul will be back here next Wednesday around 10:20ish, alongside Jeff Hawkins to talk about the fallout from Swerve's heel turn tonight on AEW Dynamite as the road to Revolution continues. You can catch moi on the wrap live on Monday around 11:20 p.m. or maybe 11:15 p.m. Eastern with Scott Young talking about the week that was in WWE as we get ready for Elimination Chamber going down next Saturday from the United Center in Chicago, Illinois. There'll be probably a WWE post-game live show on the Fight Game Media Network YouTube channel as well. So until then, any final words, Jeff, before we head out for the evening?
Follow me on X at Crep Game 13. Shake them ropes. Myself and Rob McCarran will record tomorrow. We're also on the road to Elimination Chamber, but please listen to Keila's show and the post show because we don't do post shows there. But that'll drop in your podcatchers probably late tomorrow night or early Friday morning. Bang on when we record because we haven't set that yet.
All right. Love that plug. Appreciate it as always. And with that, that's a wrap for the Dynamite Show. Hope you guys enjoyed it. As I said previously, Paul will be back next week to offer his thoughts on what happened this past week on Dynamite and looking ahead towards Revolution. So for myself and for the one and only Jeff Hawkins, that is a wrap for the Dynamite Show. Take care and bye-bye.